weeks ago, we discussed a topic concerning how to handle things when you become the new minister of music of an established department. And I gave you 3 suggestions that you should consider. You know, it's up to you. When you start in that position. This week, I'm going to do part 2, which I will give you 3 more things that I was instructed to consider when I took over an established music department, and it helped me out tremendously. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, it's good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family and your friends. And to those of you who are heavy-hearted like me, you didn't have your parents there or your brothers or your sisters or somebody that you love dearly, I pray that God gave you comfort in your heart as he did for my family and blessed you with peace and joy, and you were able to enjoy the day. Now, let's get into what we need to get into. But before we do that, I ask that you subscribe to this channel. If you're new, subscribe. And if you're not, share it with somebody else. Put your comments down there so I can see them, and let everyone know that this is a good resource for those of you, especially those of you who are new. Most of my videos cater to those who are new, where they just pick you up, throw you in a job, you have no clue which way to go. These videos are basically for you. All right, a couple of weeks ago we discussed 3 things you should consider. I guess I'm still on vacation. My tongue is still on vacation. We're going to work past that. All right, 3 things that you should consider when you have been appointed the Minister of Music or Director of Music of an established music department. Number 1, don't make any drastic changes, okay? Number 2, meet with the leadership that is already active in that ministry. Remember, I mentioned that. They know where everything is. They know how the department functions. They know pretty much a lot of the things. And besides, you can't get rid of everybody. You don't want to start from ground zero. That's why they gave you an established music department. Okay. And number 3, don't be afraid to fail. You're going to make mistakes. It's a part of life. Everybody makes mistakes. It's what you do after you make the mistake is what everybody remembers, not the mistake. Because trust me, as a choir directress, since I was 5 years old and I'm now in my 50s, I made a whole lot of mistakes. Yes, I did. But you know what? I didn't let those mistakes bring on a defeated spirit or a depressing spirit. I realized, okay, well, that's a way that I can't do it. Let's get up. Isn't that how the light bulb and all of these inventions that we are now enjoying, okay? Somebody had to make a whole lot of mistakes until they figured out the best way to make the product. And then those of us who are coming after, we don't change the product. What we do is we make the product more efficient. That's what you do. When the foundation has already been laid, your job as the successor is to streamline and make it more efficient, okay? Because generally, whatever the foundation is good, it's solid. If you inherit a business that's been thriving for 75 years, well, why are you going to destroy what the original person did? When you buy it out, you leave that stay the same, but then you just add efficiencies to the processes that are already in motion, right? All right, so now I have 3 more things that I was instructed. It's a total of 6, but 3 I gave you previously, and I already mentioned them. And now I'm going to mention the last 3 that I was given that really helped me out and helped me to take that department further in a very short time. Number 1, well, actually, okay. Number 4, actually, keep the communication lines open with the predecessor, the other person that had that position before you. You want to do that, right? Because no matter what anyone says, unless you've been in that role, you really don't understand all of the ramifications of the job. Generally, when we take a position, all we think about is picking the song, picking the singers, picking the director, picking the musicians. We look at it strictly from a music perspective. We don't think about rehearsals. We don't think about the fundraising. We don't think about all of the other things that go along with that. And I do have and I'm going to post it this week, but I do have a photo, and it has a choir director there, and so many hats that we have to have in order to maintain the department. You don't know that when you walk in. If this is your first rodeo, you have no idea All you know is that you see somebody standing doing this, and I get the chief seat, I get to dress different from the choir and all of that. But there's a whole lot of other stuff that you have to do in order to keep that department functioning. And that's what I did with the department. I didn't try to change anything really that she had. What I did was added my efficiencies that I learned over a process of time, right? And then I implemented them, and the department just took off, right? Because people saw my spirit. I wasn't trying. The worst thing you can do is walk in and try to destroy that person's, whatever they did, the worst thing you can do is try to destroy them, all right? Because you're going to reap what you sow. Reciprocity. You're going to reap what you sow, okay? So you don't try to destroy them. What you take what they did, you take the good that they had, and then you build on it. Number 5, make sure you have a mentor, okay? You need a mentor. This is the person that's going to tell you the truth no matter what, okay? They're going to point out the good things that you're going to do, that you are doing, but they're also going to let you know these are things that you really need to fix. They may be about you, or they may be about the department. Most of the time, it's about you. Because as a new leader, sometimes you get a little too excited and you just running around flapping your wings, doing all this kind of unnecessary stuff, right? And what you need to do as a leader, that mentor would teach you how to maintain, how to be calm, no matter how they act, is how you act is what's going to be remembered. Right? You remember, the choir members, they can act the fool, everybody can act the fool, but it's how you handle yourself. So you have to have somebody there to teach you. When you have a question, you can go to them and get an answer. You can't bleed on the same folks you're leading on. You can't go to the people at the choir that you're leading and be crying on them and all this. You can't do that. You can't do it. You can't lead and bleed on the same people. That was another thing I was taught. That's just a little sidebar. But you can't do that. You need somebody that's above you, that when you go to them and you're crying about something or you need answers about something, they can give you that information and not lose your credibility. Right? Because if you get to the point where you're crying on the people that are following you, you lose credibility. They look at you like you're weak as water. People, when you lead people, they are expecting you to be strong. They are. They don't expect you. That's why you're the leader, because you have matured beyond them, right? Everybody's not going to like it, so you need to face that. Everybody's not going to like it, and you need a mentor over you to tell you how to do this, what to just dispel and ignore, and what you need to address. Number 6, the final one thing I was told is that you may need to level up from your current crew. Okay? My heart goes out to the Robinson family with Shanquella. It really does. But you know what? When you become successful and you get promoted to another level, or God blesses you with whatever, and everybody else in the group that you currently running with is not like that, a lot of times you got to level up. Because when you get placed in a new role, you see things differently. Your horizon is broadened. Okay, first you may have had this type of vision about this, maybe 45. Now you're at 180, okay? You see a whole lot. It's like, oh my God. And you can't really communicate to them, because then you're going to come off as, oh, you think you somebody now. You this, and that's not it. When you just see more. So sometimes you have to level up from the crew. And you don't take it personally. All right? There are some people that are going to be in your life for the rest of your life. They happy that you going up, because they're smart enough to understand that if I'm friends with you and you go up, and I stick with you and I love you and I support you, who you going 10 times out of 10, I'm going to take you with me when I go up. I want familiar people, familiar spirits around me, right? I want people that I know I can trust, right? But sometimes as you have this little crew that you're running with, there's an underlying resentment, underlying jealousies, underlying envyings that you may encounter. And then all of a sudden you sit there, you start feeling a little strange. Something ain't right. You need to level up. Okay? As God blesses you, sometimes you have to just, you don't just run from them all. You don't cold turkey, but you may have to kind of back away from them a little bit. Okay? Because they don't have the same values. If all of you all would just say whatever job you got, and all of you all on the same level, and all of a sudden they bump you up to supervisor, and they want to be supervisors too, but you get bumped up first. Don't be surprised if you're not included in things, or they have a kind of a resentment against you, or they don't have much to say to you. When you come around, it's like, so you may have to level up. Don't be discouraged with that. When you level up, you end up with another crew of friends that are in the same capacity that you're in. They've encountered the same thing, so you have a camaraderie with them, right? And they can help you out. Now, when you get to that level, don't be surprised if some of them break off at the next level, and then maybe one or two out of that group is smart enough to see you for who you are and know that God's hand is on you. And then when you get promoted to another level, well, you're going to take those two friends with you, right? Because they're familiar. You want familiar people around. And don't be surprised at every level that you have to change your crew. Most importantly, be a person that is a good follower. Follow the leadership that is above you. Make sure you talk and communicate with your pastor when there are issues. All right? Make sure you understand the musical program that they are expecting out of you. All right? If you have a traditional church, don't come in there with praise and worship unless you find out with that pastor, he's okay. That pastor is okay with that. You need to make sure, right? You don't want to just walk in there and just start doing stuff, and then they sitting there looking at you on Sunday morning like, what in the world? Make sure you get an understanding with your leader. That's just a little sidebar. You should do that before you even take the job. But I'm just adding that on. Make sure you talk with your leader and understand the program responsibilities and what they are expecting, what their expectations are of you. You'll do a much better job. I hope I said something to help you on today. Listen, like, share, subscribe, do what you can do to help me just as I helped you. Thank you all so very much. We are now in the Christmas season. Not really sure if I'm going to do a show. I was going to do a live show and have some artists to sing, some choirs to sing. I don't know. So y'all say a prayer for me so I can determine what I'm going to do. But anyway, I love all y'all. I hope this helped you. I love all y'all because you all help me to grow. Yes, you do. Whenever you like, share this video, and some of you place comments, and some of you recap for me the videos, I appreciate all of that. That encourages me to keep doing this. As I keep growing, you will keep growing, and we'll all be the best that we can be. Love all y'all. Peace.